So Siri prefers me being on her left side. Every once in a while she'll give me her right side. But she said, I want you to bring up the point that when you're working with your horses, your horse is probably going to have a preferable side. Now, I know when I was growing up and, we talked about getting on a horse, everything was always on the left side. And then I thought, yeah, but what happens if you're out riding your horse and you fall and you're on your right side? Doesn't make any sense. Like, you should be able to do things on both sides of the horse. But what she said was, usually you're going to want to find which is the side that your horse prefers. And then when it comes to the other side, my suspicion is something happened on that right side. So I'll get confidence and I'll get trust on the left side first. And to me, her left side, her feminine side, especially being a mare, is going to be her more dominant side and especially being a mama, her perspective is that, that left eye connected with her feminine, like she's going to lead from her feminine instincts. She's going to lead from her mothering instincts. And so when I can get in there and respect her, and respect that as we're going through this process, there is way more that I probably have to learn from her than she will ever learn from me. Now I'm not just dealing with body language. Now I'm not just dealing with, okay, she's telling me this, so step out of her space, or she's telling me that and she's okay. Through this process of telepathic communication, through this process, like as the guiding force, that and just breathing and being in the chi field together, I'm learning so much from this horse that I don't think this will ever turn into like a 7-step program or a certain amount of steps. And I'm not putting that down. I mean, there are absolutely people that need those steps and they do better with them and their horses do better with them. I'm talking specifically about the people that want to understand this experience or even maybe move through this experience as a very intuitive, instinctual way of not only understanding your horse, but also of understanding yourself and paying attention to how much more there is to learn than necessarily teach. I mean, no question, we got to have basic ground rules and boundaries. Like, we have to be safe. But now that I've been in the pen with her for a while, and I know she doesn't have a desire to harm me, she has a desire to take care of and protect herself. And I can see now, as I was standing on her left side, and the vision that I got from her left, and now I'm on her right side. This is her, even though it's her masculine side, it's softer, it's tender. The left eye is a little harder and stronger. Not that she's done anything even remotely close to trying to hurt me, but that's her protective side. And now I'm getting in on her left side, and her left eye just shows me that this is much more vulnerable for her, and I need to absolutely respect that. And I also recognize that if I'm coming to this with fear, like I had a healthy fear, this horse could bite me or kick me, and she came from the wild. So the reality is she's going to listen to her instincts over me, and I need to be able to listen to her instincts and my instincts. And if I'm coming to her from fear, then there's going to be places where she doesn't trust me. There's going to be places where she's like, you don't even realize you're in fear and you're making me fearful. And so when we're in fear, and Cisco, my paint horse, taught me this a long time ago, There are so many more people that are horse people that don't even recognize that they are afraid of their horses, and then they cover it up with protectiveness and defensiveness. And so they think, because the brain thinks, it doesn't feel, only the body feels. They think that they're totally fine, but the reality is they're in fear, and then the horse feels the fear, and then they just escalate, because you can't be in your brain and feel. Your brain doesn't feel. It just fires off chemicals. Your body is what feels. So when I can go through this process intuitively and instinctually with Siri, and I'm grounded in my body, I can feel her energy before she does something. So I can either back off, I can get out of her way, I can give her space, I can just listen so she knows and she can feel from me, okay, I feel safer also that you're tuned into me, and that I don't have to escalate something to get you to pay attention. She just took a big sigh. To get you to pay attention that that energy is not really heading in a great direction. And so when we're in fear, we're going to take shit personally. We're going to think that our horse did something to us. Our horse, God damn it, like I'm having a bad day, and now my horse just all of a sudden does this stupid thing. Well, it's not, the horse is just being the horse. Maybe they're just responding to where you're at and the fact that you might be having a shit day, and you weren't even listening to how much they were picking that up from you. And you had to wait till they did something, so it was so blatantly obvious that you're not in a great place, but then you go and blame the horse. So it puts us, if we're not really, really honest about being afraid when working with horses, and I don't mean it has to be like a blatant, obvious fear, but like with this mare, I've never trained, I've never worked with, I worked with one unhaltered, untouched horse in my life at an Anna 20 clinic. And then, just being around the horses in the herd here at Eagles and Wild Horses Ranch, it's provided me an opportunity with no agenda to make connection with horses that have never been touched, and to not have to have a fear like I can always get away, they can always get away, and we start with connection first. And that's truly too even the way of Qigong, the way of Wu Wei and effortless action. Like, it's paying attention to the energy, it's being deeply in your body and feeling and being really honest about where you're at. I told Siri, I said, hey, not for nothing, but I'm scared of you because you pin your ears back and you can spin. And she's been extraordinarily respectful, as I've respected that in myself. I've respected her power. I'm not trying to push her harder, than needs to be pushed. That's not to say I won't push certain things with her. But in terms of trust, the only thing I can do every single day is just show up, trusting myself and trusting her, and listening at a deeper, subtler level to not only what is taking place energetically inside of her, or where she feels pushed, or she's like, hey, I need you to back off. But a lot of these transmissions right now are coming through because they're directly from her, about how she is feeling during this process. And if I would have pushed her, if I would have gone faster, if I would have gotten frustrated, if I would not have had my energy balanced and relaxed, I wouldn't have been able to hear or receive a lot of these transmissions that she is bringing forth to, share what she's experiencing, but to also help others know what their horses are experiencing.